in this video, I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat and hand him to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And yeah, I did videos before about how to defuse or outplay or brush off other dudes who want to weasel their way into your life, you know, like approaching you under strange circumstances that are so obvious, and people that think you're stupid, right? This was about other dudes. And when I tell you here about another type of situations you may encounter too, I try not to laugh about this either. Alright, how does a mediocre YouTube blogger / somewhat troll handle people out there in the real world who, for example, maybe just approaches you on the street, especially if they're female, and I got rules too if they're a male, and say they pop up out of nowhere and just start talking to you and chatting you up and patronizing the hell out of you out of nowhere. And the lines that they may, the opening lines that they use, you're not always saying they're a bad person. You don't know for sure yet, but when you know something is off, what do they want? Something? Do they want money, information? They're looking for something to buddy up. They looking for somebody to buddy up or partner up with, to support some kind of habits that maybe you don't know for sure they have yet. And you have some idea in your head, well, geez, nobody else in the world approaches you like that. And especially if you're a dude, and geez, no women walk right up to you like that. Not like you're Mr. Good Looking or anything. Something's up. So anyway, after reminding you about what my other videos are all about, inviting you to check those out, because some stuff I say is subject matter for another video is the reason why I say that. But anyway, yeah, one of my more recent, you know, it was a while back, but more recent, you know what I mean? Very few females just walk right up to you and like approach you and start just making conversation. I mean, whether you're a dude or chick, you know, when you say your neighbors or people down the street, those circumstances are like way different, because there's usually, you're on your way somewhere and you see these people all the time. They have lives too, you know what I mean? But there's I had like one particular encounter, and it's like I don't think I'm some good looking person either or anything like that, but I've said before, there are chicks once in a while that they're not looking for anybody good looking. They're looking for some fool that they think they got pegged out, that has no friends, or just because you're not seen with a bunch of people, they think you don't have a life or some kind of thing. But they're looking for somebody to
maybe approach and maybe land a guy or something that wants to help him buy cigarettes or whatever. I didn't even see this person with a cigarette right off the bat either, or anything, and they didn't bring up drinking or smoking anything either, and they weren't dressed provocatively. They were on the like slightly chubby side, not even dressing any kind of revealing kind of way, but being overly chatty. I mean, just the way they walk right up to you and all that. That this one made it so damn obvious. I think she may have been like, I don't know, off the bat, maybe 10 years younger than me. Definitely wasn't in her 20s. I would say mid 30s or something. I'm like 53, going to be 53. And, in the conversation, to make a long story short, I made sure I emphasized that I had a partner or whatever, too. But this is about how this one, so obvious. Just the opening line that she gives me and all that stuff, and got really patronizing and all that, was one of the involved in her multiple little lines and approaching me too, being very patronizing, trying not to laugh here. In one of the sentences, she says, "Oh, I quote, I see you walking around all the time and stuff." Oh, it's indicating that, oh, really, you were actually, that actually feels kind of weird. And matter of fact, if I was talking to any of my neighbors or anybody in town right now that were my friends that happen to be females and even married or something, and, well, like, say you run into them because you live a couple of doors away from them and you're on your way for something in conversation. But it would be weird for me, for example, that if I walked up to any of them or any female for that matter, and use any kind of line in a conversation and saying, "Oh, I see you," any indication, like, it would feel weird, like I was stalking them or something. And if I said that to a chick, right, a female, in a line, and say, "Well, oh, yeah, Ned just want to get the hell away from me, don't you think?" But yeah, this chick says that, along with patronizing me, and you'd bust out laughing. I'm busting out laughing. I don't think I look Native American at all. Maybe my hair is gray. But in the opening lines, I won't remember what came along with her first, but along with the conversation, just sliding up, just walked right up out of nowhere. Yeah, and saying, "Yeah, I look Native American." In the conversation, she didn't even act like she knew about Native American stuff as was into it. I mean, and like I said before in videos and what I was telling you now, in my head, certain red flags are going off in my head, right? And I'm not going to say, "Get the fuck away from me." I'll keep talking to them as long as they want to keep talking. Say, under certain circumstances, if I seen them while I'm walking to the grocery store or doing an errand, I'd keep talking to them if they didn't do what I was about to tell you. You know what I mean? What happened later, which that's coming, which in this case too, you notice you got a lot of people that it takes a while. Say if you want to get rid of them, I'm the kind of person that if I can get rid of them. But there'd be a time where eventually you just avoid the hell out of them. But a lot of times they would just give up and not talk to you, or if they want to keep talking to you, even though you're blunt with a lot of your political views on purpose, say there's a reason why. Okay, if you get anything out of this video, there's reasons why, and the point of this is that if you don't want to tell somebody just fuck off or just walk right by and be stuck up and not talk to them, that's an option too, which, yeah, a lot of people do. Matter of fact, if I walked right up to anybody like that, they could walk by. But yet I know how to talk to people certain ways because I work with a charity every holiday. But anyway, when they're like patronizing the hell out of you and all that, and then I throw a few things in there jokingly, I says about that but yet seriously did I do, I look at a little bit of all kind of stuff on YouTube with Native American, and not to force religion on anybody, but I have my spiritual beliefs and about all the Indian stuff, Native American stuff, about the stories about the giants and all over the world about giants. Throw that in there a little bit. And I made a joke about the genealogy thing, emphasizing on that. I can tell she didn't really know anything about Native American stuff. But she was patronizing the shit out of me so obvious and quickly. I mean, like, so, oh, you walk like an Indian, you talk like an Indian, oh, wow. And what am I going to do? Be like Cher, or remember Sonny and Cher? Or be like, what's that woman's name that President Trump always calls Pocahontas? And matter of fact, and called her Pocahontas right in the meeting there where all those Democrats were holding signs in the air and wouldn't clap for the kid. So I'm not one of them people that would even dare or bother to even try to act like. I'm like, anyway, do you guys think I look like Native American? I got gray hair, but anyway, she obviously thought I looked Native American, right? So, like conversation and all that, and it ended to one day, right? And then, I had other times, you say what's up to people, but I had one time where didn't see them a while, and then on the street, I'm on the way, I'm carrying a cake to go to a, because I had this one friend of mine that I'm friends with her now husband, but was our fiance, and then I was going to her wedding in the park down here. I was carrying a cake, but anyway, I bringing this cake over there earlier, and then I later went to at a restaurant where she had booked. It was a real good time later on in that day. And had like a wedding, but during that time I was carrying the cake, getting ready for all that. All I said is, "Oh yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, what's up? I'm doing fine." And I was more like, "Okay, I'll catch you. I'm gonna have to catch you later. I'm gonna take this cake over. I got a event I gotta go to, a wedding and a good dinner and all that. I'll catch you later." I wasn't even being rude, but when I said it, I kept right on walking. So maybe like I don't know. I can't say few weeks, and it's probably a month or time goes so dang fast. It was a week or a month and a couple weeks, month and a half. I mean, it seemed like a bunch of time went by. I mean, and then I was across the street walking from a store one day, right, and I guess she was by a house. It was probably where I lived over here, and all that, and she was like talking to somebody in a car parked in front of the car ready to leave, and she was yelling dad or whatever. I guess she was a certain age, still living at her dad's house. I don't know, not judging, or if she's divorced or whatever and moved back in where, who the fuck knows. But what gets me here, if you got this far in this video, that I'm laughing about is, keep in mind too, a lot of people will just keep talking to you, or if they want to keep playing you or whatever and keep talking, or else they'll just quit talking to you and give up, right? But what surprised me, okay, she was across the street, I was walking by, I don't know where she was, some conversation with dad. She looked up at me across the street, right, and raises her middle finger, goes like this real high into the air, and I kind of had my head turned a little bit. I didn't turn my head to react. I was kind of walking, I saw it kind of like head to it this way. But I just was kept walking by, like I'm laughing, talking to myself. I'm like, well, did she just flip me off? And I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, bitch, whatever. You know what I mean? It'd be that way if you want to. And like I said, if you got this far in a video to hear about that, I mean, getting this far in this video, seeing that outcome. My point is, you don't get an outcome like that all the time, right? A lot of times, I don't know if you guys had experience like that. Usually, they'll just quit talking to you, or they'll give you a dirty look and just walk right by and quit talking to you or something, or maybe they'll keep talking to you as long as you allow it or whatever the heck, which I would have did. I would have just kept talking, having a conversation or whatever. But anyway, the reason why I'll lay it thick on things about political, I'll leave it either way. I'll do that shit on purpose. You know how some people will say it's inappropriate to over talk about religion and politics and all that, but I'm giving you a point where even though you have an option, just walk right by and don't say hi to somebody like some people will do, or tell them to fuck off, or just any kind of like brush off, and walk by, or say you don't got time for conversation, which you have an option to do. But there's nothing wrong with, like, say, keep talking to them or whatever, and being nice if you have the time. You know what I mean? Okay, my point is, yes, it is improper to talk religion and politics or something in certain ways to people. But in other situations, it's completely okay if you want to do it instead of exercising your right just to outright rude and walk away. Say somebody makes conversation with you, right? And you can do whatever the fuck you want, no matter what color you are watching this video, right? And you may have people approach you, both black, white, male, female, or whatever, and under different circumstances. But the whole point is this: it's a good option to do because it can be interesting. One, you can diffuse something right away and get rid of them. Maybe it may take a couple of times, you know what I mean? But in another, you might end up being friends with them, and they might be, into a particular thing. But I don't know, there's another layer of this too. If this person I'm talking about could have done like other people do that want to play you. There's other people that might, which she really could have done. She could have kept playing the game, right, and patronizing my she could have just went ahead and patronized my political opinions. Okay, sorry about this. I'm trying not to laugh because how funny this is. I mean, there's people that I've met, I don't know if you met, have done it. You can be deliberately trying to say something on purpose. Sometimes you can pick up a slightly pissed off look, and they might smile with a toothy grin, like they're gritting their teeth. Maybe they're playing you, and they're pissed off at a particular political opinion or stuff. But what some are the smarter ones usually like to do too is keep patronizing you, act like they agree with you and all that. Well, this chick didn't even want to do that, evidently, and she saw me that one other time, like later on, and I guess she was like, fuck you, you know what I mean? I guess that's my point. I found that like so like funny and surprising at the same time, you know what I mean? Because, not to be repetitive, that's why I wanted to explain to you, like, say, some people, like, that's why I wanted to explain to you one of my points with this. I'm that type of person who, I'm not stupid. If I have the extra time, I'm doing errands or whatever, I know or suspect you're up to something, and I'll talk to you as long as you want to talk to me, even though I don't have time to talk all the time. But I'm the kind of person who will, not to be repetitive here, instead of just brushing you off or saying fuck off and walking away, or any kind of a way that people have a right to do, I'll tell you a bunch of shit and see it if you have some look on your face like you're pissed off or something. And yes, I will be trying to get rid of you. And then there are some people that'll, if I tell this shit that I'm telling you to somebody, some people will say, oh, why don't you tell them to just fuck off or walk away or whatever? I'm like, well, yeah, I had days like that where I'm in a certain mood. I will. I have done it, you know what I mean? But it's very rare. like a particular for me, it would have to be like I had a hectic, or especially when I worked in places like factories at the time, when worked overtime when I was younger, everybody would get those days where you'd be kind of blunt, especially with somebody you hardly know. You know what I mean too. So, but I'm the kind of person who is, well, just to be if you're a person, well, anyway, if you got anything out of this to end this, I'm giving you also what it takes to be a YouTube blogger, whether you're really big or not. I'd make a case to you, if you got this far in this video, to that's what it takes to get on YouTube. To have a desire to even be on YouTube at all, if you gotta want to just say shit. And it's not about just being on YouTube too, because some of us don't make money on here, and some of us actually, like me, I actually have a life that I'm happy in, and to have a kind of a thick skin, or if you will, is a point. But anyway, I'm trying to give you what kind of asshole in a way you have to be to even stay on YouTube. No matter how big you get, or if you get any bigger, you got to be a person that wants to just go ahead and say shit. You know what I mean? And knowing that you have lurkers here on YouTube that ain't no real fan of yours, or any kind of stuff that they want to look at you or whatever and say, roll their eyes or whatever. Yes, I'm giving you messages too deliberately. If you have the attention span without comment and run, presuming you know everything I'm saying, and making a comment that makes me say, oh, what the fuck, I can, not bothering me. Matter of fact, I can tell by your comment you didn't even watch the fucking video. But anyway, well, just like in actual life too, I'm going to do a video like that about people you're related to, or that'll do this shit to you too, not just on YouTube and comments, that they'll just outright, certain things you say to them will go in one ear and out the other, and they'll cherry pick one thing, put words in your mouth, shit that you didn't say. And they're not stupid people. They do that fucking shit on purpose too. But that's a separate video. I'm just throwing you extra things in there that people will do to you too, as opposed to walking out of nowhere and chatting you up and acting like they're something, or they want something and they're looking for something or whatever too. And keep in mind, before I tell you any more like shit like this right here right now, that I'm not implying that this happens every single day you get out the door either. But and also I'd remind you and tell you right off too, whether it was you, if you ran into me in person or something, or speaking to me, even though I'm aware and suspect something, I'm the kind of guy that will just tell you a bunch of shit. I'm like, say, if you're somebody, maybe you want cigarettes money, or beer money, or whatever, or money to buy pills, or whatever the hell reason. I'm the kind of person that ain't gonna rudely, tell you to fuck off. I'm the kind of person who, if I think you want information, and there are people out there that think they're being sly, right? They want information, and I'll talk you to death just for the principle of the thing. And I'm not saying maybe you are up to something, maybe you're not up to something, right? But the shit that I like to do is I bring up, politics, religion, or especially that happened in the last couple of years, the 2020 riots. I'm the kind of guy that will test it. If I think you're looking for information or gossip, I'll tell you a lot of shit. Because Okay, for the reason being, I don't know, maybe I talk to people all the time, and I don't think every single person I run into is up to anything. But you suspect certain things under circumstances, right? But say I'll lay some things on real thick, and if you get pissed off, then I have gotten rid of you. You know what I mean? Even if it took a few conversations. I mean, I'm a sucker for conversation in a way, but I'm also one of those people that knows what up. But and again, you never know. They keep talking to you. I'll keep right on talking to you. I mean, we might even be, say, friends, like say in passing, even though I'd have no intention of, because I actually have a life, and I have a partner that I've been around whether it's a dude or chick. I have no time. I actually have a life. If they're looking to weasel their way into my life or whatever, for example, I have no time if that's what they're looking for, to be following them around or having them follow me around, because that's why I preach in some of my videos about, say, a dude that's looking to weasel their way into your life, looking for a drinking partner or some crap, approaching you out of nowhere, whether it's out of work or trying to chat you up on the streets, not happening, you know what I mean? Because there are people that are looking for that, you know what I mean? So that's why I preached in some of my videos against shit like that. I'm like, yeah, that'll be the day I follow another man around like a little bitch, Even if you're not gay, you might as well be gay. And why do that shit, be following some other dude around that calls all the shots, you know what I mean? So that's why I say the things I do, but